Nokia, not Microsoft Nokia, has just surprised everyone by announcing an Android tablet, the Nokia N1. Design: Nokia N1, aluminium body with surface anodisation, one-piece design, 6.9 mm thick, 318 grams. Nexus 9, soft, matte plastic back, brushed metal sides, 7.95 mm thick, 425 grams. The Nexus 9 is a pretty decent looking tablet, but at initial glance it's not in the Nokia N1's league. Google's flagship tablet looks rather like a large Nexus 5, which means it's solid rather than spectacular, with a familiar soft touch plastic back. Meanwhile, it's a millimeter thicker than the N1 and more than 100 grams heavier, despite the N1 being the one with an all-metal body. The Nokia N1 looks to be a lot sleeker, but then, it would do. It's a blatant copy of one of the best designed tablets around, the iPad mini. As such, we need to temper our praise of the N1's design at this early stage, as it appears to have been lifted wholesale. Nokia N1, 7.9-inch, 4:3 aspect ratio, 2048x1536 resolution, laminated IPS LCD. Nexus 9, 8.9-inch, 4:3 aspect ratio, 2048x1536 resolution, IPS LCD. Of course, one reason the N1 is sleeker than the Nexus 9 is that its display is significantly smaller. It's just 7.9 inches, whereas the Nexus 9's display is an 8.9-incher. Other than that, there are a lot of similarities here. Both have a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is still pretty unusual for Android tablets. In fact, this is another common iPad feature, and it suggests that both Google and Nexus have come around to Apple's way of thinking here. Both tablets have a 2048x1536 resolution, but that means that the Nokia N1's display, being smaller, should be sharper. As far as pixel density goes, it's 324 ppi versus 287 ppi. Nokia N1, 64-bit quad-core Intel Atom Z3580 CPU, 2.3 GHz, 2 GB RAM. Nexus 9, 64-bit dual-core NVIDIA Tegra K1 CPU, 2.3 GHz, 2 GB RAM. Both tablets include 64-bit processors, which positions them well to make the most out of Android 5.0's 64-bit compatibility. Also, both processors are clocked at 2.3 GHz, and both are backed by 2 GB of RAM. However, that's where the similarities end. You might think that the quad-core Atom Z3580 of the Nokia N1 holds an advantage over the dual-core Tegra K1 of the Nexus 9 simply through the core count alone, but the Tegra K1 has an absolutely monstrous desktop-class GPU backing it up. Nokia N1, Android 5.0 Lollipop, Nokia Z Launcher. Nexus 9, Android 5.0 Lollipop. Both the Nokia N1 and the Google Nexus 9 run on stock Android 5.0, also known as Lollipop. That means that both have one of the freshest and most powerful mobile operating systems around. The only slight deviation here is with the Nokia N1, which will also ship with the Nokia Z Launcher. This lightweight piece of software presents a new contextual app list and an innovative search system whereby you draw letters on the display. However this piece of software turns out, the Z Launcher can be readily deactivated to leave stock Android running in its full glory. Nokia N1, 8MP rear, 5MP front-facing cameras. Nexus 9, 8MP rear, 1.6MP front-facing cameras. Both tablets contain 8-megapixel rear cameras, while the N1 appears to have the edge in the selfie/video calling stakes with its 5-megapixel unit. The Nexus 9's front camera is a 1.6 megapixel example. Nokia N1, 32 GB. Nexus 9, 16 GB/32 GB. Pretty simple one this. The Nokia N1 only comes with a 32 GB option, while the Nexus 9 comes with the choice of 16 GB or 32 GB. However, we don't think that 16 GB should even be on the cards in a modern tablet at this stage. It's way too meager an amount for a media-centric device at the close of 2014. We're disappointed there's no 64 GB and 128 GB options with both of these tablets. Early verdict. The Nokia N1 has been a total surprise, but that hints at a reason for caution. To a large extent, our preconceptions about Nokia design and build quality have to be jettisoned, or at least redirected towards Microsoft's new internal mobile hardware arm. This is effectively an all-new, relatively small outfit, having its designs built to spec by a massive Chinese manufacturer. Sure, the Nokia N1 looks pretty good, but we have no idea whether it will be. Conversely, we know what we're getting with the Nexus 9, having reviewed it recently. It's a decent Android tablet with some strong specs running one of the best mobile operating systems around.